Ladies and gentlemen, I want to begin by asking you a very important question. Who told you that you are not valuable? Who told you that you are not good enough, not smart enough, not strong enough? Who convinced you to believe that you are less than what God created you to be? The greatest tragedy in life is not death. It is a life lived without knowing its true worth. Many of us have allowed the words of people, the opinions of society, and even our own negative thoughts to define us. But let me tell you something. You are not what people say you are. You are what God designed you to be. Low self-esteem is a product of misplaced identity. When you don't know your original value, you settle for whatever the world gives you. You allow rejection to break you, criticism to shape you, and failure to define you. But hear me today. Your value does not come from people. It comes from your Creator. One of the greatest mistakes people make in life is allowing their value to be determined by temporary things. Society has trained us to measure ourselves by achievements, possessions, and the approval of others. If you have a certain title, you feel important. If people praise you, you feel valuable. But what happens when those things are taken away? What happens when the applause stops, when the job is lost, when the relationship fails? Does your value decrease? The truth is, your value does not come from people. It comes from your Creator. Before you were born, before anyone had an opinion about you, before you made your first mistake, God already assigned you worth. He created you with intention, designed you with purpose, and placed within you everything you need to fulfill your destiny. You are not an accident. You are not a mistake. You are not here by chance. You were sent to this earth with divine significance. The problem is too many people don't know their own worth. And when you don't know your worth, you settle for less. You let people treat you however they want. You accept things that are beneath your true identity. You tolerate toxic relationships, unhealthy habits, and a life far below your potential because you don't believe you deserve better. But I came to tell you today, you are worth more than you think. A $100 bill, no matter how many times it is dropped, crumpled, or stepped on, never loses its value. It is still worth $100. And you, no matter what you have been through, no matter how many failures, disappointments, or struggles you have faced, you have not lost your value. You are still priceless in the eyes of your Creator. The danger of allowing people to define your worth is that people are inconsistent. One day they love you, the next day they forget about you. One moment they celebrate you, the next they criticize you. If you build your self-esteem on the opinions of people, you will always be unstable. But when you understand that your value is rooted in something greater, something eternal, you will walk with unshakable confidence. Look at a manufacturer. When a company produces a product, they assign a price to it before it is ever sold. The price is not based on opinions or popularity. It is determined by the manufacturer. And once that price is set, it does not change. Your manufacturer, your Creator, has already determined your worth, and it is not up for negotiation. No person, no failure, no rejection, no opinion can lower the value that God has placed on you. That is why you must stop seeking validation from people who didn't create you. Stop waiting for others to approve of you before you feel good about yourself. Stop looking in the mirror and seeing yourself through the lens of your past mistakes. Your value was established before you ever made a mistake. You were valuable before you failed. You were valuable before you got hurt. You were valuable before anyone had an opinion about you. The reason some people struggle with low self-esteem is because they have spent too much time believing the wrong voices. They have listened to teachers, parents, bosses, or so-called friends who spoke words of limitation over their lives. You're not smart enough. You'll never be successful. You don't have what it takes. And because they heard it so many times, they started believing it. But today I challenge you to reject every lie that was ever spoken over you. You are not what people say you are. You are what God designed you to be. You must start seeing yourself the way your Creator sees you. When God looks at you, He sees purpose, potential, and power. He sees someone created in His image, destined for greatness. He does not see failure. He does not see lack. He does not see rejection. He sees a masterpiece. And the day you start believing that is the day your life will begin to change. How do you raise your self-esteem? By raising your thinking, by feeding your mind with the right information, by surrounding yourself with the right people, by reminding yourself daily that you are valuable, you are important, and you are enough. When you walk into a room, walk with confidence. Not arrogance, but confidence, because you know who you are. When you face challenges, don't shrink back in fear because you know your worth. When people reject you, don't let it break you, because you know their opinion does not determine your value. The moment you embrace your true worth is the moment you stop settling for less. It's the moment you stop looking for approval in all the wrong places. It's the moment you step into the life you were born to live. So today, I want you to make a decision. Never again will you question your value. Never again will you allow someone else's words to define you. Never again will you live beneath your purpose, because your worth has already been decided and you were created for greatness. Have you ever asked yourself why so many people struggle with self-esteem? Why do so many individuals walk around feeling unworthy, insignificant, or incapable? The answer is simple. Low self-esteem is a result of misplaced identity. When you don't know who you are, you allow anything and anyone to define you. You accept labels that were never meant for you. You allow your circumstances, your past, and even the opinions of others to dictate your value. But the greatest tragedy in life is not knowing your true identity, because when you don't know your identity, you will never understand your worth. Too many people are living beneath their potential because they have built their self-image on the wrong foundation. Some have built their identity on what they do, on their job, their achievements, their career. They feel valuable as long as they are successful, but the moment they fail, they question their worth. Others build their identity on what people say about them. If they are praised, they feel good. If they are criticized, they feel worthless. But let me tell you something. Your identity is not found in what you do or what others say. It is found in who you were created to be. If you take a bird and tell it that it is a fish, it will never reach its full potential. It will struggle in an environment that was never meant for it. It will try to live in water when it was designed to fly. Why? Because it has accepted a false identity. And this is exactly what happens when you don't know who you are. You start functioning in a way that is below your original design. You start accepting a life that is beneath your true purpose. This is why so many people suffer from low self-esteem. They have believed the wrong voices for too long. Someone told them they weren't good enough, and they believed it. Someone told them they would never succeed, and they accepted it. Someone rejected them, and they thought it meant they had no value. But the problem is not what was said to them. The problem is that they build their identity on a lie. The danger of misplaced identity is that it makes you live a life that does not reflect your true worth. When you don't know your identity, you compare yourself to others. You measure your success based on someone else's journey. You try to fit into a mold that was never meant for you. But the moment you understand who you are, you stop competing, you stop comparing, and you start walking in confidence. The truth is, you were created with purpose. You were designed with intention. Your identity was established before you were born. And until you recognize that, you will always struggle with self-worth. One of the biggest lies people believe is that their past defines them. They think because they made mistakes, they are failures. They think because they were rejected, they are unworthy. But let me ask you something. If you drop a diamond in the mud, does it lose its value? No, it may be dirty, but it is still a diamond. It only needs to be cleaned. And some of you today have been covered by the dirt of life. by past failures, by hurtful words, by disappointment, but you have not lost your value. You only need to rediscover who you truly are. If you want to raise your self-esteem, you must shift your mindset. Stop letting your job define you. Stop letting people's opinions shape you. Stop letting past mistakes hold you back. Your identity is not found in what you do, what you have, or what others think. It is found in the one who created you. When you truly understand your identity, you will never again let circumstances dictate your worth. When challenges come, you will stand strong because you know you are greater than your struggles. When people walk away from you, you won't break down because you know rejection does not reduce your value. Your self-esteem is only as strong as the foundation of your identity. If your identity is built on the shifting opinions of people, you will always be unstable. But if your identity is built on truth, on the knowledge that you were created with value and purpose, nothing will shake you. Today, I challenge you. Stop looking for validation from people who don't even know their own worth. Walk with confidence, speak with boldness, and never again question your value, because your identity is secure and you were born for greatness. I want to ask you a simple but life-changing question. Why were you born? Have you ever stopped to consider that your existence is not an accident? That you were not just placed on this earth to survive, but to thrive? You were designed for greatness, not mediocrity. The problem is, too many people have settled for less than what they were created for. They have accepted an average life, not because they were meant for it, but because they have been conditioned to believe that they are not capable of more. They live in fear, doubt, and insecurity, constantly questioning their abilities, constantly playing it safe. But let me tell you something today. You were never designed to live a life of limitation. You were created to excel, to lead, to impact, and to make a difference. One of the biggest tragedies in life is to die with your potential still inside you, to leave this world without having fully used the gifts, talents, and abilities you were given. And the reason many people never reach their potential is because they believe the lie that they are not good enough. Someone told them they don't have what it takes and they believed it. Someone made them feel small and they accepted it. But I want to remind you today, you were born to be great. Greatness is not about fame or wealth. It is not about being better than others. Greatness is about fulfilling the purpose for which you were created. It is about maximizing the gifts that were placed inside you. It is about refusing to settle for anything less than the best version of yourself. Look at an eagle. It was designed to soar high above the storms, to dominate the sky, to see farther than any other bird. But imagine if an eagle grew up around chickens and never realized its true nature. Imagine if it spent its whole life pecking at the ground, never spreading its wings, never reaching its full potential. That is exactly what happens when people settle for mediocrity. They were born to fly, but they choose to live small because they don't know who they really are. Many people shrink themselves to fit into the expectations of others. They lower their dreams to match the opinions of those around them. They allow fear to keep them from stepping into the fullness of their potential. But let me tell you something. You will never reach greatness by staying in your comfort zone. You will never maximize your potential if you keep playing it safe. Every person who has ever done something significant had to step out in faith. They had to take risks. They had to push beyond fear and embrace the greatness within them. You have to stop thinking small. You have to stop seeing yourself as less than you truly are. You have to stop believing that greatness is for other people, but not for you. The same God who created the universe, who formed the mountains, who placed the stars in the sky, that same God created you with a purpose. You are not an accident. You are not ordinary. You were sent to this earth with a divine assignment. and it is your responsibility to fulfill it. If you want to raise your self-esteem, you must stop settling. Stop settling for relationships that don't honor you. Stop settling for jobs that don't challenge you. Stop settling for a life that does not reflect your true worth. You were designed for more. The Bible says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. That means if you think small, you will live small. But if you start thinking with the mindset of greatness, you will begin to see opportunities that others miss. You will start walking with confidence. You will start expecting more, doing more, becoming more. You were not designed to simply exist. You were not placed here just to go through the motions of life. You were created to make an impact, to influence the world around you, to leave a legacy that will outlive you. But that will never happen if you keep shrinking yourself. Some of you have been living below your potential for too long. You have allowed fear, doubt, and insecurity to hold you back. But today I challenge you, step into the greatness that is already inside you. Dream bigger, think bigger, live bolder, because you were not created for mediocrity. You were born for greatness. Ladies and gentlemen, the way you see yourself determines how you live. Your mindset is the foundation of your life. If you think you are weak, you will act weak. If you think you are unworthy, you will accept less than what you deserve. But if you see yourself as valuable, capable, and full of purpose, you will live with confidence and boldness. The greatest battle you will ever fight is not against other people, it is in your own mind. Every day you are shaping your life by the way you think. Your thoughts create your reality. If you constantly think of yourself as a failure, you will act like a failure. If you believe you are not good enough, you will settle for a life beneath your true potential. But if you shift your thinking, if you start seeing yourself the way you were meant to be, everything about your life will begin to change. Low self-esteem is not just about what others have said about you, it is about what you have accepted as truth. Many people struggle with self-worth because they have spent years believing lies. Someone told them they weren't smart enough, and they accepted it. Someone told them they weren't attractive enough, and they believed it. Someone told them they would never succeed, and they embraced that as their identity. But let me tell you something. You are not what people say about you. You are what you choose to believe about yourself. If you want to raise your self-esteem, you must first raise your thinking. You cannot see yourself as small and expect to live a big life. You cannot see yourself as incapable and expect to achieve greatness. You must begin to renew your mind, to reprogram your thoughts, to replace every lie with the truth. A lion is the king of the jungle, not because it is the biggest, not because it is the strongest, but because of how it sees itself. An elephant is bigger than a lion. A giraffe is taller than a lion. But when a lion sees an elephant, it does not see an obstacle. It sees food. The lion's mindset is what makes it rule. And if you want to rule in life, you must start thinking like a lion. You must see yourself as strong, powerful, and capable of achieving great things. Many people fail before they even start, not because they lack ability, but because they lack the right mindset. They tell themselves, I can't do it. And so they never try. They convince themselves that success is for other people, and so they remain stuck. But let me remind you, the only limits in life are the ones you place on yourself. You were created with potential. You were designed with purpose. But you will never tap into that potential if you keep thinking small. It's time to expand your vision. It's time to elevate your mindset. It's time to start seeing yourself as the powerful, valuable, and extraordinary person you were meant to be. The Bible says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. That means your thoughts are shaping your reality. If you want to change your life, change the way you think. If you want to walk with confidence, start speaking confidence into your life. If you want to break free from insecurity, start reminding yourself of your worth every single day. Stop focusing on what you lack and start focusing on what you have. Stop telling yourself what you can't do and start declaring what you will do. Stop believing in limitations and start believing in possibilities. The moment you shift your mindset is the moment your life begins to change. Some of you have been living beneath your potential for too long. You have allowed fear, doubt, and insecurity to hold you back. But today I challenge you, change your thinking and you will change your life. Walk with confidence, speak with boldness, live with purpose. Because the way you see yourself determines everything. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to take a moment and think about the words that have shaped your life. Think about the things people have spoken over you, words of encouragement or words of doubt, words of life or words of limitation. Now, I want you to ask yourself, what words have you been speaking over yourself? The truth is, your words have power. What you say about yourself, what you declare over your life, and what you allow to enter your mind will either build you up or break you down. Many people struggle with self-esteem, not because they are incapable or unworthy, but because they have been feeding themselves the wrong words for too long. Some people wake up every day and speak defeat over their lives. I'm not good enough. I'll never succeed. Nothing ever works out for me. And they wonder why they feel discouraged, why their confidence is low, why opportunities seem to pass them by. But the problem is not their ability. It is their words. Because what you speak, you begin to believe. And what you believe, you start to live out. If you want to raise your self-esteem, you must first change the way you speak about yourself. You cannot keep calling yourself weak and expect to feel strong. You cannot keep speaking failure and expect to succeed. You cannot keep saying, I'm not good enough and expect to walk in confidence. The words you release will shape your reality. The Bible says life and death are in the power of the tongue. That means every word you speak is either building your life or destroying it. It is either lifting you up or pulling you down. If you keep feeding your mind negative words, your self-esteem will suffer. But if you start declaring the right words over yourself, your confidence will rise, your mindset will shift, and your life will change. Look at a seed. When you plant a seed in the ground, it needs the right environment to grow. It needs water, sunlight, and good soil. If you plant a seed and speak to it every day saying, you will never grow, and if you refuse to water it, what will happen? It will die. But if you nurture it, if you speak life to it, if you give it what it needs, it will grow into something beautiful. Your mind works the same way. If you constantly feed it negativity, insecurity, and doubt, your self-esteem will wither. But if you start speaking words of strength, confidence, and purpose, you will begin to grow into the person you were created to be. I want you to think about a mirror. Every morning you stand in front of a mirror and look at yourself. But the real question is, what do you say to yourself? Do you look in the mirror and see someone who is capable, strong, and worthy? The reflection you see is not just based on what is in front of you, it is based on what you believe about yourself. Some of you have spent years repeating words of failure, words of self-doubt, words of insecurity. But today, I challenge you to change your language. Start declaring who you truly are. Wake up every morning and say, I am valuable. I am strong. I am more than enough. I am created with purpose. I have what it takes to succeed. These are not just empty words. They are declarations of truth. And the more you say them, the more you will believe them. You must guard your words because they shape your self-image. Stop saying, I can't. Stop saying, I'm not smart enough. Stop saying, I'll never be successful. Instead, start speaking words of faith, words of confidence, words of victory. Start saying, I can do this. I am capable. I am destined for greatness. Because when you change your words, you change your mindset. And when you change your mindset, you change your life. The world will try to tell you who you are. People will try to label you, to define you, to limit you with their words. But you have the power to reject anything that does not align with your true identity. You have the power to declare your own worth. You have the power to speak life into your future. So today I challenge you. Speak words of life over yourself. Speak words of strength. Speak words of victory, because your words have power, and what you speak will become your reality. I want you to take a moment and think about the people you surround yourself with. Think about the voices that speak into your life daily. The friends, the family members, the colleagues, the mentors. Now, ask yourself this question. Are these people building me up, or are they tearing me down? Are they helping me grow, or are they keeping me stuck? The truth is, the people around you have a direct impact on your self-esteem. You cannot walk with confident, purpose-driven people and remain insecure. And you cannot walk with negative, toxic people and expect to grow in self-worth. The voices you listen to will shape the way you see yourself, and the environment you allow will either strengthen or weaken your confidence. Some of you are struggling with self-esteem today, not because you are not valuable, but because you have allowed the wrong people to influence your thinking. You are listening to people who constantly criticize you, who remind you of your failures, who make you feel small, and as long as you keep them in your life, you will continue to battle insecurity. You cannot build a strong self-image while surrounded by people who tear you down. Look at an eagle. An eagle does not fly with chickens. It does not hang around pigeons. It soars with other eagles. Why? Because it understands that who you associate with determines how high you can go. If an eagle spent its life walking on the ground with chickens, it would never realize it was meant to fly. And the same is true for you. If you surround yourself with people who think small, who speak negatively, who doubt their own worth, you will start thinking and acting the same way. But when you walk with people who think big, who believe in their potential, who speak words of life, you will start to see yourself differently. Some relationships are holding you back. Some friendships are keeping you from becoming the person you were created to be. And if you want to raise your self-esteem, you must have the courage to distance yourself from anything and anyone that does not support your growth. The Bible says, do not be deceived. Bad company corrupts good character. That means no matter how strong you think you are, if you stay in the wrong environment long enough, it will start affecting you. If you keep surrounding yourself with people who complain, you will start complaining. If you keep listening to voices that discourage you, you will start doubting yourself. If you keep entertaining relationships that make you feel small, you will never walk in the fullness of your confidence. But the good news is, you have the power to choose your environment. You don't have to accept every voice that speaks into your life. You don't have to stay connected to people who make you feel unworthy. You don't have to tolerate relationships that drain your confidence. You can choose to walk with people who inspire you, who challenge you to grow, who remind you of your value. Look at successful, confident people. One thing they all have in common is that they surround themselves with the right people. They are intentional about who they listen to. They guard their circle. They understand that self-esteem is not just about what you believe internally. It is also about what you allow externally. Some of you need to evaluate your relationships today. Are the people in your life speaking faith or fear? Are they pushing you forward or pulling you backward? Are they celebrating your progress or discouraging your growth? You cannot afford to have relationships that drain your confidence. Your future is too important. Your purpose is too valuable. You need people who will remind you of who you are when you forget. People who will speak life into you when you feel weak. People who will challenge you to aim higher, dream bigger, and never settle for less than you deserve. If you want to build strong self-esteem, start being intentional about your environment. Choose your friendships wisely. Seek out mentors who will uplift you. Stay close to those who inspire you, and most importantly, remove anything and anyone that does not support the person you are becoming. Because the company you keep will either elevate you or destroy you. And if you want to rise, you must be willing to let go of anything that keeps you grounded. My friends, everything we have talked about today comes down to one powerful truth. You were created for greatness. You were never meant to live in insecurity, fear, or self-doubt. You were designed with purpose, built with potential, and equipped with everything you need to succeed. And you need to succeed. But in order to walk in that greatness, you must see yourself the way you were meant to be. Stop settling for less than you deserve. Stop believing the lies that have held you back. Stop shrinking yourself to fit into places that were never meant for you. It is time to rise up, walk in confidence, and embrace your true identity. Change the way you think, speak life over yourself, surround yourself with the right people, and refuse to settle for anything less than the best version of you. You have been given a gift, the gift of life, the gift of potential, the gift of purpose. Do not waste it. Do not bury it. Do not allow fear to steal it. Walk boldly into your destiny, knowing that you are valuable, capable, and worthy of every good thing in life. So go forward with confidence, dream bigger, think higher, live stronger. Because the world is waiting for you to step into the greatness that has always been inside you. Good luck, and may you walk with boldness and purpose every day of your life. Thank you.